What's up, guys? How's it going? Today we're going to be talking about the next perk in the lineup, Bamboozle. Well, pretty much your vaulting speed is increased by 15%. Whenever you vault a window, the vault location becomes blocked for 16 seconds. You can only only have one window blocked at a time, and they're only affected to the survivors. You got, obviously, it does not affect pallets. They only have this in there because of Legion, who can vault over pallets when they're in frenzy. This perk is actually pretty good. You see it on certain killers, mainly insta-down killers who want to block the window to make it easier for them to get the insta-down. To turn those broken, bullshit, unbalanced loops that become crazy overpowered with a window into a loop they just run in a circle and eventually drop. There's no extending a loop at a jungle gym for 3 minutes. Pretty much you only use it on Bubba, Mikey, Billy. Mainly killers who don't have their own version of anti-loop or one-shot. Like, you really don't want to use it on that many other killers. It's those like 3 or 4, like Bubba, Billy, and Mikey. You could run it on Legion, just quickly vault the window and jump out of your power, but it's not very good on Legion. So the perk itself doesn't really need a buff. It definitely does not need a nerf. The only buff I could see giving it is removing the duration of it being blocked. Honestly, how I see it in the current state of the game, it kind of needs to be. It's just a good nerf, not nerf, buff for where it can go. Like I said, it doesn't need it. Normally, if you're bamboozling a loop, unless you're on a map that's pretty spread out, or just the spawning of the loops, the algorithm for it makes it so that the windows are far enough away but close enough that who gives a shit if he blocks the window? You have another loop right next to it, like having a TL wall into a jungle gym or a TL wall into a TL wall. Or like, there's just so many loops that if you spawn really close to each other, Bamboozle does end up not doing anything, because you just go from one loop to the other, to the next loop to the other. But Bamboozle is still pretty strong. Turning a TL wall, which is normally a pretty fair loop, into a loop that is favorable to you. Turning a jungle gym from a loop that you can loop the killer there for several minutes before having to put on the pallet unless you mess up is really powerful. Though they're still god pallets, there's almost no counterplay, even if you bamboozle the window, because they pretty much just see you coming on one of those kind of loops. It just makes it so they have to drop it and you just break it. It's one of those force the pallet or take a hit type of perks. Do I suggest getting it? Yeah, it's a pretty good perk. It's not one of those, I'm gonna run it on every single killer type of perk, but it's still powerful. Like I said, because Mikey, Bubba, and Billy have one-shots, and this turns those loops into, oh shit, I need to drop the pallet or I'm gonna go down type of loops. If you're playing it on like a mouse one killer and you're bamboozling a window, it's not gonna do much. Other than force the pallet drop. Or they just end up not dropping the pallet and getting hit because you're a mouse one killer and going to a different loop. So yep, my only suggestion on buffing the loop, about buffing Bamboozle, is removing the duration of it being blocked. Change it from entity blocks the vault location for 60 seconds to the entity blocks the vault location until you vault another window. That's it. I think that's perfectly fine. It's not overpowered. It's not broken. So yeah, I'll put the next video up in about like 4 hours at 8 o'clock, and we'll be talking about the next Survivor perk. And I'll see you then.